with the pandemic, I was locked up, cooped up inside. It was like the first time I was indulging in pasta. I had like pasta like every day.
Oh,
and I had ramen too. I didn't even know ramen had so much flavors, like them little noodle pockets, real talk. With hot sauce, like, no, for real, like, I was just eating everything, and I like, feel good. Like, of course, I'm obviously not the size 4, like, or 2 I used to be, but I actually feel
You said
good.
2?
Yeah.
Size what?
Between 2 and 4.
Size 2.
My
I was so obsessed.
Like, my ankle is a size 2.
No.
Why you always watching me? You know that come with the fee. Asking who inside my sheets. I can't even come in pee. Take it back. Fully funded and abundant, and you lack. Who you is, big man? You don't know me like that. You's a snack, Kit Kat. I need some gon' make me fat. I need some gon' raise the stacks. I need some know how to act. You always texting where you at. Don't blow me up, just blow this back.
Forget the diet.
You know, it's almost been. Thank you, Dino. It's almost been a year that, you know, we've been in the pandemic, and I think that deserves a cheers, because we made it. We made it, sure. We making it.
We can reach. Cheers, virtual lives. Cheers. Cheers.
Clink, clink.
Cheers.
Clink, clink. Yeah, cheers to making it so far through the pandemic, and also, you know, the quarantine 15. Whether you gained it, whether you lost it, but just being okay with, you know, the ups and downs. Because I know me, I started off working out heavy. I got fit, and then I gained it back. Then I got fit again, and now I'm just at a place where it's like, fuck it. You know, what about y'all?
I was at a very good place of losing it. Losing weight, that could come off bad.
I was losing it too.
But when the pandemic happened, like, I just came off my big trip to Asia.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
I remember I was like 5 weeks.
I was like, Boxer coming back when she's stuck.
Yeah, so I just came back off my trip, and then the pandemic hit, and I was like, okay, let me use this time to lose some weight, because in those pictures I was looking a little thick. So I lost weight, and then at I'd say the end of last year, got into a relationship, and then all that weight that I lost went down the drain, yes.
The happy weight.
You caused that, baby. So I think I only had it twice. Lost weight, now I'm at the gain weight.
I definitely gained, like, I gained like 30 pounds in quarantine, and then like was just too sad and over life to do anything about it. So then I think I tried to lose it, and I lost like 15 pounds, and then I was like, I miss eating, you know? So then I was doing that. And now, yeah, I think I'm at a similar place of view of like, fuck it, like whatever body I wake up with today, that's the body y'all can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Body, yada.
Life short, hey.
I think for me, I'm thankful for the pandemic, not what's going on with the world, but I feel because of the pandemic, like this is the first time in my life I've actually started to appreciate my body. So before the pandemic, I was so, I guess, self-centered when it came to my body image. I would constantly go on like smoothie diets because I could not be over 115 pounds. I want to look good in a swimsuit. Like, trust me, all the works. You see me in the gym, I'm posted like twice a day. If you know me, like, persons are constantly asking, like, how you get these legs and what you doing? And it's just like, meanwhile, like, I might be posting like I'm living my best life. My body is so amazing, but I was actually like really miserable because I was so restricted. But then like, with the pandemic, I was locked up, cooped up inside. It was like the first time I was indulging in pasta. I had like pasta like every day. And I had ramen too. I didn't even know ramen had so much flavors, like them little noodle pockets, real talk. With hot sauce, like, no, for real, like, I was just eating everything, and I like, feel good. Like, of course, I'm obviously not the size 4, like, or 2 I used to be, but I actually feel
You said
good.
2?
Yeah.
Size what?
Between 2
Oh,
and 4.
size 2.
My
Yeah, I was so obsessed.
Like my ankle is a size 2.
No, but I feel like great.
But that's
about,
good though.
Yeah.
I feel like the pandemic was a moment to kind of like pause and kind of like dig a little bit deeper. Because I mean, like at what point do you think you realize that, you know, there's such a microscope on the woman's body or even like the girl's body? I mean, as much as I don't want to say it, the female body. Like at what point in your life do you think you realize? I think for me, it was like, I probably like in like grade 3 was when it started, when I realized that, yeah, like that's, I think it started off with things so simple like the size of my feet or the size of my forehead or me having like a little hump in my nose. It was like that like realization that people are looking, that people are judging. And that was a moment when I started to kind of look a little bit deeper. And then obviously it got a little worse as, you know, puberty hit and you start growing breasts and bungy and all kind of stuff.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, you didn't? But what about y'all?
For me, I would say my experience that I remember very vividly was me, my dad plays volleyball, so we were on the beach, and this little girl, I guess me and her was playing in the sun or whatever, and she asked me a question. She was like, how come you aren't bumping?
What? Like
I
the rest?
remember that word.
Yeah, she was like, how come you aren't bumping? So I was lost playing in the sun.
Always.
So
Yeah,
like,
well, so we know.
I was lost. So I go to Daddy, I say, Daddy, what is bumping? And he burst out laughing because it was like, wait, my child really asking me what bumping is, and he didn't really know how to explain it. So I don't even remember if he answered me, but I just remember asking him what is bumping. And then that's when I figured out what bumping was, and I was like, well, ain't nothing bumping here.
But I remember even my mommy friends would come over and be like, oh, you bumping it? And then start like squeezing or like pinching your booty. And I'm like,
I don't know why they do that.
It was a
glad
big deal
that
though,
never
because
happened.
whether he was bumping or not, like I was not bumping. I wanted to bump so bad.
I wish I didn't.
You know what I mean? But I feel like whether or not you had anything going on, it was just a topic of conversation from your family, older women especially. It was kind of like almost giddy, like more giddier than your friends, to be honest. To be like, oh, you ain't bumping, or you wearing bra and you ain't wearing bra. And I feel like that's when I was definitely hyper aware of like, okay, my body doesn't look like her body and hers is better. I think at around like bumping age.
Bumping
Bumping age.
What is that, like 13 or something?
No,
Yeah.
younger than that.
No, younger than
I
that.
guess it depends when you started your period.
That's like
for
grade
me,
5, grade 6.
Oh, like I was 10. Like,
Yeah, I was 10 when I started my period. So that's like sooner than later. I started the little mosquito bites. I didn't really bump like that.
Boy.
I didn't really bump
My
until
little
after I
things.
got pregnant. But my bongi was bumping. My hips definitely got wider, which was such a horrible time for me because at that age, I was so consumed in like, you know, those Cosmo magazines and everyone was like super skinny.
Yeah, but that was the era too back then because
Yes.
everybody in the
Like a
music videos,
supermodel.
everybody was just straight.
Exactly. So like for me, like the ideal body was like stick thin where, you know, you could see your collarbone, you could see like all your ankle bones and stuff, and then now I'm tall, and then on top of that, now I grow in hips, and I started to get bungy, and I was just like, hold on, man, this ain't what I supposed to look like, you know? But I mean, like, I remember cutting out those supermodels from that thing and like putting it on little boards, little poster boards to like look up to, like that's what I was supposed to look like. Not only that, but also identifying more with like Eurocentric features. I feel like, you know, wanting.
Is it because you're European?
Not even so much though. I guess possibly a little bit more so because I am European, but I didn't really look like the average Austrian because I got the melanin. But it was like a weird in between where like my facial features are European, but my body was more like Bahamian, you know? So it was just like where do I fit in? And then, you know, being in school, kids just nasty. Like constantly making fun of you, you know what I mean?
So what was your experience, Abby?
I can't think of any.
You can't remember the first time you noticed your body?
I feel like I always had breasts.
I'm
like real talk.
going
My mommy, it was my mommy, it was my sister. I feel like I remember in high school looking at girls like, because I had to wear like 2 bras. I had to wear a sports bra plus like, you know those half bras that kind of like the sports bra?
Yeah.
I had to wear like 2 bras, and I used to feel embarrassed about how big my breasts were. Like now, like people think, oh, you got big titties, that's sexy. But back then I was so embarrassed, like I wanted to hide them. So I had to wear like 2 bras. And everybody just around you, even though it was high school, was like, they have these small, like perky titties, they look, and then you know your high school shirt is already make you look fat.
Yes.
So like it just making you look like you bulging out, your breasts.
But
I
like
hated
from
it.
what age you had big breasts?
I just feel like all my life, like real talk, if you look at my photos from 10, 9, like
That's
I
a
just,
lot.
inside the 8th grade, I was already wearing 32 double D. Only because I lost weight, like now my boobs are, I mean, it's still double D,
That's
but
me
I like a
now.
28 double D. But 8th grade, I was 32 double D. I
But-
hated it. I was embarrassed.
Do you feel like you were more sexualized at that age because you had bigger breasts?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the guys in the older grades would come on to me, and maybe that's why I don't like younger guys now. So it's just like they're always the ones like trying to talk to me, so I just like gravitated toward that. But I don't know. So I think so. You did have some pervs out there that tried to come on you, but I hated it though. It's not something I was comfortable with.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I feel like it's just so interesting to see, like, how we go from just, you know, running around as little girls to now being like, okay, wow, everybody looking at my body. Or that moment where now you, like, comparing yourself, you judging yourself, you nitpicking. Like, when you look in the mirror, it's like a constant, like, oh, you know, what is this? I need to fix this. I need to change that. I mean, even, like, you know, being a teenager and suffering with acne, like, for me, that was, like, a struggle, man. And then people walking around with perfect skin, and they're like, oh, just drink water.
That would be me.
Oh, you was the just drink water girl?
No, I wasn't to just drink water, but I didn't have acne. Like even now, I don't really have acne unless that time
I
of the
was
month.
on the struggle bus.
But I can
It's so
remember.
nice now.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress. But I feel like there's so much pressure on girls because I never even thinking about it now, I never remembered any. I mean, I guess we'd have to get from a guy's perspective. Any guys kind of dealing with the pressures of acne or
Oh
like,
yes, I
you
know a
think
lot of
so?
guys who dealt with
Yeah,
that. Yes.
I'm sure they have. Puberty, listen, nobody wins.
That little voice
Yeah.
cracking stage.
Nobody wins.
Where you going from sounding like a mouse to a whole horse?
Yeah. The thing that's so vicious about puberty is that it's horrible for everybody. Like nobody's
so
having a
different.
good time. You had the boobs and you hated it. I had no boobs. I was there trying to stuff stuff in there. Hated it. Everybody's miserable. And instead of just like connecting on that, everybody is trying to find somebody else to make fun of. So I'm sure like boys have their own war stories.
Yeah.
I think
of
I
making it
think
through.
I had a trauma story in 6th grade because you know I then green. Right?
We know.
I really green.
I think you're supposed to be green in grade 6, man.
Surprisingly,
box of green in grade 6 was like a deep green.
no, that was deep green. So like, you know, like for PE, you know, obviously we don't change in front of the guys. We go in the girls' bathroom or whatever. And my traumatizing experience, you know, even though I know about bumping, I still ain't really thinking about bumping. Like I ain't thinking about your body parts. I was just into basketball, volleyball, and softball. I wasn't into nothing other than sports. And this girl was like, boxer, well, not boxer, because I wasn't boxer then. Leandria, you don't bumping? And she literally flashed me. She's like, this how it's supposed to look. I was like,
Oh no!
in grade 6. I've never been so traumatized in my life. After that experience, I never changed like my PE outfit in the girls' bathroom no more. Like when I know I had PE, I would wear my uniform under my school clothes. I was like, I do not want to ever experience that again. Like that's what bumping look like. I don't want them. I was like traumatized.
So you feel like, so going through that in, you know, grade school, middle school or whatever, getting into high school, did it get better or did it get worse?
For me, it was normal. I mean, I don't think people picked on, the most they used to pick on me was like, oh, you're a dumb boy, you was one of the guys. That's about it. But as far as like my body, Ain't nobody jack for me. I just play basketball. They didn't
I don't
care.
think it was necessarily that people are picking on you because of your body. I think it's like when you become aware of that your body is something to be talked about. Like for me, it's the beach, right? Because growing up in the Caribbean, like at a certain point, the beach used to just be a place I could go to and have fun. And I remember being a teenager and understanding like, oh, this is a fashion show. Like this is a meat shop. Like this body got to be right to go
so
on the
true.
beach. And that was like in one summer for me. And where I didn't feel like my body changed that much in one summer, suddenly everybody expectations of my body changed in like one summer, and the kind of swimsuit I was supposed to wear, and you know what I mean, and what pictures we take, you know, you get to hit our home.
You just
like,
brought back so, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about when I was 11, and I think Courtney had a birthday party, and that was like, so I had got my period at 10, and so I was 11 at this point, and then, you know, body hair. So it was like, okay, before this, it wasn't an issue. Like, I'll just wear whatever to the beach. But now that you say that, like, I remember that, like, that brought me back to, wow, I wanted to wear this two-piece, but then it was like, now I got pubic hair, now I got leg hair. And it's just like, in the Cosmo magazines, it's like, oh, women's supposed to be clean-shaven, women's supposed to be waxed or whatever. And my mom was like, hell no, you ain't waxing, you ain't doing nothing, especially at that age, obviously. But like, there was so much pressure to conform to a certain look and a certain image to be sexy or to be desirable.
And
even.
it was like, I would do anything to get it. Like, I shave my own beach. Father tell me you cannot shave my legs. What I do? I shave my legs.
I sneak to.
I have a
used
beach to
sneak
go to.
shave my leg.
I don't think my mom never told me not to shave.
No, I couldn't
But
shave.
then but we never had razors in our house for me to even shave anyway. So what I used to do, sorry cousin, but when I used to go by my cousin, she had her shaver, and I used to experiment, and I used to shave my leg, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to wash. And I used to wash. I didn't know how to take the hair out of the shaver because I'm new to this. So what I used to do was I used to use my hand and move the hair.
What? So you cutting up your hand?
So I used to be cutting up my hand. You do that too?
I don't know
I
now.
used to be cutting my hand trying to clean it because I didn't know how to remove the hair, and I can't get caught because I can get in trouble. So I rather cut hand than getting beaten.
And my legs were smooth.
Yeah.
Period.
No,
I used to sneak and shave on there.
I had to beg, and this was making me so mad, because my mommy had me and my sister with a damn European man that gave us the hairiest legs possible. My mommy from Andres, she don't got no hair on her arm. She don't have no hair. She don't know the struggle of having body hair. How dare you tell me I can't shave my legs? You never had body hair. So that was like the biggest thing for me. And like, she was like, no, you ain't shaving your legs. You can't shave your legs. And like, to me, because of all the magazines and what I saw on TV, like not having body hair was like the way to be a woman. So the point, I had to,
Glistening legs.
yeah,
Even, like
you know,
oily
those
and nice
yeah,
and
Venus
sexy.
commercials.
Yeah.
And when you say woman, that's a real thing because like when you show up with your little sprouts on your legs, like you was a little girl, like you ain't reach yet.
Exactly.
Your daddy ain't bumping.
Girl, like pick a struggle. Right. But no, like I had to beg my stepdaddy to like beg my mommy to let me shave my legs, and he was like, "Just do it. I'll deal with it after." And like then I did it, and then it didn't stop. Like there was still more. Like okay, I shaved my legs now. I don't feel sexy like a woman. Now I need to wear makeup. Now I need to do this. Now I need to lose weight. Now I need to do this. And like at such a young age.
That's a lot of pressure. That's why dealing with teenagers is some of the most hardest years because they go through so much different changes. Yeah, because from your body, then how you look. You're supposed to focus in school.
Liking the opposite sex, because now they're focusing on that now.
Yeah, liking the same sex. Child.
Well, even in a young age, like you always like new.
I
Different
mean,
topics.
yeah.
I'm just curious, you know.
But yeah, no, I didn't wake up at 21 and decide to like women. You know what I mean?
Wake up and decide to like a woman one day, you know. That's a whole other topic in
Yeah,
itself.
that's
Like,
my
at
bad.
what point did I realize I was bisexual?
Yeah.
See podcast number.
Right.
But no, I feel like there's so much pressure on teenagers, but the times are changing. Like, I even had Finn ask me about her leg hair a couple of days ago. And she was like,
Been up leg hair at 7?
She's European, okay? I
just
explained to you all the
hairy.
struggle already, all right?
Yeah.
We are very hairy.
No, but I didn't think I
No, she
just
has
didn't think-
like, she definitely got my genes. Like she has full on leg hair, arm hair, like the hair is there. And like to one point where she didn't want to wear shorts, she's like, oh, you can see my leg hair. And I'm just like, at 7?
Are you gonna let us shave?
At 7?
I mean, period. I don't know.
I mean, for me, what I like to do is I like to explain to her the idea that you don't have to not have hair in order to be considered a woman or feminine. So I want it to be her choice, not a choice that she wants to do because it'll make her accepted by other people. Because I mean, but what is wrong with having body hair? Like I feel like as women, we're so pushed into this box of being clean shaven all the time. Like I remember when I didn't go out because I had like one little piece of stubble on my knees.
Which
like
is
I would
craziness.
be embarrassed.
Craziness.
This is how I look at it. If it ain't supposed to be there, God would never did in the first place. So if the hair's supposed to grow, let it grow, baby.
That's
That's the
Amen.
thing too. Like I feel like when I was young, I thought hair removal was like this permanent thing. I thought I would shave, and you know, I'd be like the commercials, and I'd be smooth, and I could walk off screen and live my life. But it's like no, in like
It keeps
5
growing.
hours,
I know
it's going to grow
That's
back.
hours, girl.
So it's like
Don't
even
30
if
minutes.
you right. Even if you are allowed to shave, like you do have to make peace with what your body looks like in its natural state, because no matter how much you manipulate it, you know, you're still gonna have to wake up to who you is.
Yeah.
You know, hair, cellulite, you know what I mean? Like whatever you got
Don't
going
even
on.
get me started with cellulite, man.
So Abby, what's your experience with this whole topic of hair and all those other stuff? Were you like told not to shave at a certain age, or
I mean, my parents didn't allow me to shave. Well, the thing is, I don't know. I wasn't, even though I was embarrassed of my boobs, I don't feel like I've ever had a bad body, but I feel like I was very hard on myself because my mom, like, she was always obsessed with working out, into fitness, and then she was like part-time fitness coach. So I think that's why I was so obsessive with like staying small. So even if I got to like 120, sorry, mommy, like 120, she'd be like, okay, like you looking a little sloppy, like stuff like that, and that really took a toll on me. So I think that's why, maybe it's psychological. It was just like this obsession. I never really looked at anybody and said, I want to look like her, I want to be like this. It was more so like just nitpicking, looking in the mirror, saying, I like this belly have to go, like, I don't know what it was. Like, I just was so unhappy with myself. And even up to 26, like, it took the pandemic for me to like finally accept my body and feel beautiful and feel happy, not care if I gain weight. Like, maybe it's just like self-hate, and that's the thing. You can't watch people on Instagram because you may see me working out all day and you might think like, oh, she have a great body, but it's like I was so miserable.
Preach.
I'm like drinking 2 smoothies a day and working out twice a day. There's like nothing exciting about that. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I was actually gonna tie that into social media, because
Yeah.
social media puts a lot of pressure on females.
Toxic.
Because obviously nobody is gonna post a picture with their pudge. They're always gonna be sucked in, finding the angles. And let me tell you, I'm the angle queen, honey. Catfish
Like-
101.
But for me, like, even though I do agree social media important, I think more so for me, it was just my household and my mom. Like, she just really used to hammer down, like, on your weight. And even now, like, y'all say I always in heels or whatever, I could not leave the house in flats. Like, I mean, just make sure, like, we fix all the time. Like, I'm serious, and maybe that's why I'm the way I am, but
That makes sense, because
yeah,
my
for
mommy
me, it's
never
like
used a heel.
household. Yeah.
My mommy didn't care if we was matching, if our hair
No,
was fixed. It
not
was
my
more
mommy.
about how much you get on that test. Are you studying? You doing this? Like, to the point where it's just, it was never really, like, I never felt it at home. I think for me, it was more so a societal pressure from my friends, my environment, magazines, TV, where it was just like, I have to look a certain way because I don't look like the norm.
It was like if I have to look a certain way because I had a fair that I wouldn't be accepted, which is stupid. And I don't know who is not accepting me. So I'm like, if I gain a little bit of weight, people won't like me. And I don't think it was in anybody in like particular. I think it was more so approval of mother. I don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of it.
No, she was a great mom, but like particulars like that, yeah, she was.
Yeah. I had this similar experience because my dad is a fitness trainer.
Yeah.
And then my mom, she ain't into that. So like, mommy would, like my daddy is strict on food. Like this dude don't put nothing bad in his body. He's serious about that. And my mom was always the one who would let us get away with this and get away with that. And because she was doing that, we was gaining weight. And then we would eat the food and then she'd be like, oh, you getting fat. I'm like, but you feeding me this? Daddy, wow, you want to tell us don't give us no Kentucky after school.
Oh my
but
God.
you won't give us Kentucky after school. That don't even make sense. So I understand where you're coming from in terms of it coming from the parents, because I kind of experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard, especially when you're looking up to your parents.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
more difficult.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's a lot of pressure because it's like, Mommy, you're supposed to tell me I'm pretty and I look good all the time. But
No,
then
she's
telling me
do
I'm
that
fat.
now. She's like my beautiful princess, but trust me, you ain't leaving the house looking a certain way. My mommy she has heels for everything. Like she is gardening heels, so she will wedges.
What?
My mommy's so extra. I think that's
Wow.
Gardening
I've never
yes,
heard that.
wedges. Seriously, that is my
That's
mother.
like-
Not baked sun hat, but she got to take on the couch.
I love this. Wow.
But I think my mom tried that, but because I was so into sports, I wasn't having it. Because she, even up to the day, she's like, Leandra, you going to the food store like that? I'm like, Mommy, I wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt to the food store. I said, Mommy, I ain't wearing no jeans with tight and uncomfortable.
No, they don't believe in that.
And like when we go to church, we'd have to wear stockings. I say, Mommy, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't put none of these stockings. I can be itching all day. You can be mad because I can be scratching and making noise. I ain't into that. So I think in terms of my relationship with my mommy, I break a lot of things that she thought I was supposed to do because I was like, Mommy, I ain't into that. I remember one time she got so frustrated. She was like, if I leave it up to, we were supposed to go to this wedding, and I didn't want to choose a dress because I just wasn't into that, right? And she's like, if I leave it up to you, you'll wear basketball pants to this wedding. And I say, you're right.
You're damn right.
But I think I kind of break that norm too of parents trying to, I wasn't into
But
that.
like, so you broke that norm, right? But then how is your relationship with social media?
Social media. In the beginning, it was tough because I used to cry. I used to look at myself in the mirror, like how you manifest stuff, and I would cry at myself in the mirror and be like, just lose some more weight so you can look good, and blah, blah, blah. So it was a lot mentally, but honestly, going to college and meeting the Bahamian friends that I met, they helped me a lot. Because when I said confidence was through the floor, like it was through the floor, and thank you, all my best friends in college.
Oh, that smells good, boy.
Yes.
That panini pack with turkey, babe.
I almost thought that was tuna.
Yeah.
They fix us up tonight for sure.
Like my water in it. See, I love food too much to give a about what other people think about my body. Like, you see that?
And people on the internet at
And
that.
people on the internet are that, and I get shit. I mean, obviously, I on the internet, and I didn't know. But like
Thank
the
you.
pressure I feel of being a woman on the internet, and I'm sure men go through it as well, because everyone on that back with turkey bean. Everyone on the internet puts forward their best self.
Yes.
They put forward the perfection. You never see.
Sometimes they put forward straight up lies.
Yes, trust me. In the business, like I've literally met people and like walked straight past them because I didn't know that that's who that was on Instagram, because they do not look like how they say they look. But I feel like there's so much pressure, and even when I first joined Instagram, or like before when I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, like the pressure was on to not look like me. And I feel like at that point, my self-esteem was already low from being in a really shitty relationship. We already talk about cheating and all, and how that does make you feel. So to get, Dino.
I'm sweating right now.
Oh, God. Oh gosh. But like, I mean, like when it comes to that, and you know, your self-esteem already low, you're already insecure, and then you go on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and you know, thank you. And then, you know, you just start second guessing yourself. You start comparing yourself. You start judging your body. You start, you know, sitting in the mirror and nitpicking. Yeah. And I think that was the point where I realized even more so, like I hated my legs. You know, the stretch marks, especially after having a baby, you know, cellulite, or maybe this belly little hair, or like, you know, my C-section scar, like that, like all of the things that made me imperfect were like under a microscope by myself based on what I was seeing on the internet. You know what I mean? Thank you, Dino. But I mean, how has y'all relationship been with social media? Kia?
I feel like it's in a good place now. I unfollowed a bunch of stuff that was just noise, that was just trash that I was ingesting. But also I think I had to be real with myself. I think we are so unkind with our bodies because we have unrealistic expectations of them. You know, I thought like, if I did this and drank this and tried that I could suddenly have like an hourglass figure. And it's like, but your bones ain't built like that. Like, that's not what your bones do. So like, you gonna get some new bones, or are you just gonna have the surgery and get it done with? Because all this other stuff is just, you kidding yourself, you know? And so once I got rid of that expectation that, you know, I could suddenly have a 10-inch waist, just all natural, you know, it was just like, well, fine, like let it go. And then I was able to find following accounts with like women with real bodies, not to be like, you know, you have a fake body, da da da. No, but for me, I just needed to see real bodies in motion, you know, not just like in these little stylized poses, but like, it was a long time for me. Like the little hourglass figure thing, cookie cutter model, that wasn't good for my spirit after a while. I had to like unplug from that.
And that ties into all of like the diet fads. And like even like thinking about it now, like I remember reading in Cosmo magazine how to get abs, and one of the tips was that when you sleep, you're supposed to suck your belly in and sleep like that all night. Let me tell you, I was doing that from I was like 12, 13, but when I sleeping, I like just tensing my abs so I could get abs. I could look good in that bikini at that next party.
Right.
Like, and just to think, or even like, I remember there was one thing where I was just like, oh, you're supposed to eat a watercress smoothie, and I would beg my homie to try find watercress in Super Value.
No, man.
And it's so funny because to this day, now they have watercress in Super Value, and I think to myself, maybe I try that smoothie now. But like, it's like, I feel like as, you know, as humans, we go through these weird phases of diets to like fit these ideals of, you know, now it's the hourglass. It's the friggin' 10-inch waist with the big bongy, big breasts, you know, big lips, whatever it is, which ironically, like, you know, are, anyways. But the idea is that we put so much pressure on ourselves. Like there's so many different diet fads right now. Like I know people who literally be drinking water for days on end, nothing else, no carbs, or they, you know, fasting nonstop, or just like pressuring themselves to be something like, and the question is like, is it something that you actually want? Or is it something that you think you want based on the societal pressures?
And what's gonna change for you when you get it? Okay, what if you wake up tomorrow and you have that dream body? Like what in your life has changed?
I don't know, man. I just used to like how I look in swimsuits. Like it's just, for me, it was like, it's just food. If I have to eat chicken broth, I was eating chicken broth. Like it was such a miserable life. Like honestly, I feel great. I'm eating fries. Like no, seriously, I would have like 2 smoothies a day, and then like maybe some meat and salad.
I think that was the point for me where I always used to fall off. Like I could have done the excessive workouts and stuff like that, but when it came to the food, big brother, my mommy from Andros, she could cook.
Yeah,
when I come home and that food is on the table, I couldn't sit down and be like, oh, I eating a salad, or I eating this, or I starving myself tonight. She wasn't letting me do that to myself, and I'm grateful for her for that, because, you know, eating disorders are real. And that pressure from society is real, and it could have gone way different for me, but there did have to come to a point where I had to step back and, just as Kia said, like, unfollow those accounts that made me feel like I had to look a certain way. And I remember I went on this photo shoot in LA, and this is my first time in LA, and I had like fears of going because in my head I'm like, everyone out there so perfect, because because of what I see on Instagram. Getting to the airport in LA and I'm like, wait, hold on, everybody look like normal, human. But then I get on set. Literally everyone looks the same. Like everyone just went into the doctor and picked out a face. And for me, like anxiety started settling in because it's just like, oh shit, I don't look like these people. Like, why am I even here? Am I pretty enough to be here? But the weird part about it was everyone was so intrigued by how I looked because I was me. And it was different. And I think for me, that was the wake-up call when I realized, okay, it's good to look like me. It's good to be me and to not feel that pressure. And when I went back home, I started unfollowing all of those people that every time I saw them, I felt that, oh, I needed to do this, or I needed to fix this. And now I've come to a point where it's just like, I don't care if you see a couple dimples in my bungie, or if you see my stretch marks, or if I a little bloated today, or I got abs one day, and I got like, my body fluctuates, and I'm appreciative of wherever I'm at.
I think my turning point or understanding of bodies don't really matter was like I said, college. Having my best friends from Nassau there with me, just talking to me like, Boxer, you have so much to be appreciative for. Like, you literally you're the only one in the school that plays 4 sports. 4. I played 4 sports in college.
Wow.
There's like, you are literally doing what you need to do. Like, stop stressing yourself out. And then like, after interacting with people on campus, like nobody really cared about like body. They was like, oh, this the fine Caribbean girl. She got dimples, she cute. They wasn't checking for my body. They just want to know, they just want to hear my accent and watch me play. Literally, that was it. So I think, and also having positive people around you.
Yes.
To help remind you that you are enough and your body is enough. Stop being so hard on yourself because your body changes.
Yes.
Like, you could drink milk and then you get bloated and then you think you're fat. You're not fat. You just bloated. So like certain foods will trigger certain things as well. So we also have to understand diet. So, or the things that you eat and how your body reacts to it. Because even up to this day, isn't a struggle for me. I could work out every day. I enjoy sweating for sports.
I don't know, you be waking up so early.
Yeah, I wake up really early. I enjoy working out, but my only thing is the food.
I love food.
Food is good. And I love carbs. I love bread. I love pasta.
Yeah. But carbs aren't bad. And
Carbs aren't bad.
I tell my clients this all the time. I feel like everyone has this like preconceived notions of like, carbs are bad, like really and truly, and I tell my clients this all the time, like, you want to just feel happy with the body that you're in the sense of, you're healthy, you're still moving, everything is still percolating. But when it comes to the, if you are looking to lose weight, it's just a caloric deficit. It's no shunning of the food or, no food is inherently bad, but, moderation is a very important thing.
You need every food group, it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Too much of anything is too bad for you.
Yeah.
But like just to backtrack, like on what you were saying, it's important to have persons around you, I guess, who motivate you. But I also think it's important for self-love. Like I'm saying, I'm 26, I've been saying it all night, like, I don't think I'm fully there yet, but I'm on the journey for the first time ever to loving myself and my body. And trust me, I had all type of people telling me, girl, you look good, you look great, you're beautiful, but you have to learn to love yourself in order to like be receptive of like what others are saying. Like that's something you have to work on and like do within, and it's very, well, for me, it's like it was very difficult.
No, I totally understand what you're saying, because self-love was a big part of it for me.
I didn't have
but
that.
But honestly, like I honestly can say my friends teach me how to self-love. Like, they literally would be in my dorm room. Like, I'll have my little freakouts. Even if I fail at something, I'll have my little freakouts. Just like, Boxer, take a deep breath. There's like, reflect, understand. Like, you have a great family background. You are in school. You have over a 3-point average. There's like, what is there not to love about yourself? What is it deeper? Like, honestly, there was psychologists and they ain't even know it. So having that positivity and having them, like, you don't understand how ground bottom I was, because I was always the athlete, the tomboy. I was always picked on, like, oh, you can never have a boyfriend, or you can be a dyke, or you can be this, or you can be that. So I never really looked at my female body, because so much people was putting, or you, like, just a lot of negativity. So I never really focused on my body like that. So having them to teach me like different features of a woman, and that's weird because I'm a woman, and I know that I'm a woman, but you still have to learn certain things, and because they probably had a good background or a good woman in their life that taught them, they literally taught me. So it took my friends to help me, and like, you don't know how appreciative I am for them, because I was like, wait, I don't know where I would be without them, because I would still be at rock bottom without them, because I can't pull myself out of a hole that I don't realize what kind of hole it is. So it was difficult for me to pull myself out of that, not realizing what type of hole it was. So I'm just happy. I'm at a good place.
No, but I definitely identify with what Abby said too, because that self-love aspect is so important. And I think for me, it's been something fairly recent to be able to love myself. And with being on the internet, you know, people see me on the internet and they think, okay, body look good, she always happy, everything must be like perfect, you know, like everything must be great. But deep down, like for a while, I really was still struggling with, you know, my self-love. I was really still struggling with appreciating my body for like what it does for me. And it really came to a turning point when I was about to just quit Instagram, because, you know, with the internet come the nasty people that always have comments and things to say. And it's so fucked up because, you know, with the internet, people like to hide behind their keyboards and their screens, but they never think about what that other person might be dealing with. And granted, those comments always come from a sense of projection of personal insecurities. They were getting to me to the point where it was exacerbating my self-esteem, my lack of self-esteem. So I took a break, and then I forget what it was. At some point, I just realized like I can't move forward unless I personally love myself, and I can personally say, hey, Alex, nothing is wrong with you. Like you have stretch marks. Yeah, your weight fluctuate. Yeah, you have this from having a baby or whatever. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you are healthy, you are here, you're breathing, and you have a beautiful child. Like everything is working itself out, and it's important to have that gratitude. And I think at that point I realized, fuck it. What did good kids say? To work and get whatever body I give them?
No, for real, because like listening to y'all talk, like that self-love thing is it. Like I think I had been living my life in a way that I was waiting until I did this, and that to love myself.
Yes.
Oh, when I have a flat stomach, I'm gonna love it.
Yes.
Oh, when my booty grow, I'm gonna, and it's like,
Yes.
when I finally got that I just need to love myself as I am, and that will fuel and motivate me, like the season I'm in now has been the most productive in terms of like taking care of myself and doing yoga and meditating. I no longer own a scale. Like it does not matter, because I love myself and I'm happy with myself and I want to care for my body. I get up and I stretch it. I get up and I strengthen it. You know what I mean? It's a completely different motivation than my belly have to be flat. We already said it earlier, like you cannot deny yourself experiences. You got somewhere to go, put your belly in your panty and go. Like the amount of times I passed up on, oh no, I ain't gonna go to this fat, all type of boat cruise and stuff I wanted to go to, and I worry about back fat and back growth. But everybody drunk and ain't nobody care.
Yes.
And in that order.
And that's a fact too, because I mean, like, even I think back to times where, you know, I didn't want to wear the bikini, or I didn't want to wear the shorts because my cellulite showing. Like, wear the fucking shorts. Wear the fucking thong bikini. Like, just fucking do it.
Just do it.
Show up and show out for yourself, because at the end of the day, like, honor your body for the amazing things it freaking does for you. Like, that's a revolution.
And just to see how it feels, because like you have this big idea of who you're gonna be when you have your flat stomach. If you don't feel comfortable now walking around on the beach in a thong, you ain't gonna feel comfortable when you're bungy big. Like, so mom, you need to go and experiment. Try that. See, like, do you like the breeze on your cheeks like that? Is that really you? Or is this something in your head that you have built up? And I feel like we just like postpone life. We postpone experiences to where we think our body's deserving of having them. And I just ain't doing that no more.
But do you feel like us as women, do you think that we bring each other down more?
Absolutely. We are all still in school.
But also, how is it relationship-wise with your body? Because, yeah, we're saying we feel this way about ourselves, but sometimes when we get into relationships with other people, I gotta get to my story too. Like you feel like, you know, just down about your body. For example, my experience, right? One of the things that I dislike about my body is my back, right? Because I feel like it's broad, it's wide, and all of that, and I feel like I look like a football player. Y'all let me say it a couple times, right? So it wasn't until I learned how to love my body. I mean, I still have issues with my back. It ain't fully gone, but our partners who really love us and who really is our partners, they really don't care about that. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, my back. Yeah, but my back, let me turn this way. Ooh,
Right.
It's like you're so self-conscious about it, but I'm not gonna lie. My partner is legit. Like, this dude don't care about none of that. He ain't care about none of that. And like, having that also gives you like that confidence, like, wait, nobody really cares about that. Like, you care about that. Even make sense.
Well, I've had a partner that did care about that. Actually, I mean, we're not together now, but didn't really like I say, I was always in the gym and I like got a lot of muscle and stuff because I lift weights. And then I felt like so good and sexy about my body. And now it's just like, well, you have too much muscle now. I don't want to sleep next to no brick wall or no, man, like no muscular woman. Yeah, it does something like to yourself the same. Now the person that I'm with makes me feel beautiful. Even if I look in the mirror, like just today I was like, maybe I look fat. He's like, no, absolutely not.
This right
you
now,
look,
okay?
yes, you look great.
You look good.
Amazing, baby. And it's like, yeah, trust me. I just the right partner, boy, that's a serious thing.
That is a serious thing.
Yeah, it's a serious
It's the
thing.
right partner.
And it can't play on your self-esteem.
And it's also the right friends too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, just as you say, like, I've had friends I didn't even know secretly hated me.
Yeah.
And to the point where literally anytime I put on anything, it was always like, maybe you should change that. Or, girl, you didn't do this, or you didn't do this. Like, look, why this look like that? And in the moment you think that, oh, maybe they looking out for me. But realistically,
they like hating. Listen, y'all don't understand. My friends, they wear that. That's you. You like that?
I love friends like that.
As long as you like that, you put that on. Like, you don't understand. Like, I getting goosebumps right now talking about my friends because they help me so much. Like, I don't have jealous friends at all.
Trust me,
we
that's
all on our own level. And even relationship-wise, like, even if I say, oh, I'm concerned about this because a guy might think that this way, girl, F him. Mm-hmm. Find someone else who can love that big back.
Somebody like it.
Somebody can like that big back.
Somebody like it.
You worry about your back and they ain't worrying about that back.
And,
you know?
and it's trying to, it really speaks to the importance of your environment.
Yes,
like,
your
first of all,
environment,
loving yourself is key, but, you know, like, vet your environment, vet your friends, your partners, your, like, platonic relationships, everyone. Like, you want people to be there to support you.
Because that's loving yourself too. Loving
Exactly.
yourself is allowing
Self-care.
yourself to have a support system.
And boundaries.
Yeah,
Please.
not having trash friends who put you down and make you feel bad about yourself. That is not loving yourself.
So what is it something about yourself that you would want to make peace with? I'm going to start first. I talked about it the whole segment, and it's my back. So eventually, I'm going to make peace with it. I'm making peace with it now because I'm strength training and building muscle. So it's going to go down eventually. So I'm working on it. And even if it doesn't go away, I still gonna love it because y'all love me.
Yes. I love big bag boxer.
So Kia, I'm gonna pass it to you.
You know what? I feel like you're inspiring me. I am also a member of the Big Box Brigade. I sweet that you think that, and I love you for that, but I know yourself to buy different size top.
Yes, it's so difficult to shop.
I was just saying.
I honestly don't see it.
Me neither.
No,
okay.
listen, here is
Yeah.
a medium and here is a large. So my tops here is be tight and then here is be baggy.
But I feel like that
So that's
just
the problem.
translates into you having like a great presence because your shoulders are so.
Broad. It's a good way to look at it.
It's there. Like your shoulders are broad. Your
Yeah,
shoulders are
yeah.
there for the resilience that you take on as a strong, independent Black woman.
Shut
Like it's just there, and I'm living for it.
Hey guys. Hey guys. How are you guys?
But also, I really want to make peace with my belly because I've never had a flat belly. Even when I was skinny, I didn't have a flat belly.
Yeah, I had a flat belly.
really
Yeah, I never had one either.
And I just want to be okay with the belly. I feel like, you know, at a certain point in my life, I did have a booty do. I don't have one anymore.
Yeah. You know what a booty do is?
It's when your belly sticks.
Have more front to the front than the back. Yeah.
I never heard that.
Stick out more than your booty do. Yeah.
I never heard that. And you know, I got rid of my little booty do. So I'm just trying to make peace with my little belly.
Okay, so there's no particular part of my body. I just think I spoke about self-love, just like me as a whole, like learning to really love and appreciate and accept myself. Like, you are beautiful. You don't have to look a certain way to be accepted. I think that's what I have to come to peace with, just working on me, like internally. That's very, very, very important and still a work in progress, still fairly new.
Okay.
I like that. I agree with that. I
Yeah.
feel like, I don't know, it's hard. Like I've come to a point where like I thoroughly appreciate and love every single part of my body. I feel like if anything, there is something that I'm making peace with, it'd probably be my boobs, my breasts. I don't know. They're just different after you have a baby, you know? Like, I mean, they're still nice or whatever, but I feel like that's something that I'm making peace with, like my body after having a baby. And I know some people will be like, oh, well, you know, this and that, but the thing is, it's still a personal relationship that I have with my body. Like, you know, after having a C-section, the abdominals aren't the same, breasts aren't the same. So that's something that I'm making peace with. My body, as it changes as I get older and as, you know, it goes through different things.
Yeah, so we're coming.
We're coming to peace. We're at peace. Oh my God, that's the name of the podcast. I didn't even think about that. Well, we can't cheers with.
I know, right?
Okay, no.
The meatball sandwich.
Cheers.
Oh,
Ketchup cheers.
Y'all better look me in my eye. Look me in my eye.
I cannot have sex. All right, sweet.
Why you always watching me?